putting an end to almost 35 years on the road. To make it official, they signed an unprecedented contract.
You know I'm a dreamer.
In the years since, Motley Crue became more popular than ever and gained an entirely new legion of fans who, along with diehard Crue heads, demanded the band tear up that stupid contract and come out of retirement. They knew that if they were ever to stand on stage together again, that contract would have to be destroyed. Well, destruction has never been an issue for Motley Crue.
There's Machine Gun Kelly, who played Tommy Lee in the Netflix film The Dirt, the adaptation of that phenomenal book about Motley Crue. I love all that there. I love what they wrote for him. I don't know if thousands of fans were clamoring for them to blow up that contract. Not a contract, just some piece of paper that they signed saying they would never do it. And not even 4 years later, we were talking about this yesterday, Motley Crue announced that they're going on the road with Def Leppard, who just got into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. With Poison, they're going to tour next summer. And I think you and I were both on the same page. We couldn't help but think about young Cory Roddick.
Yeah.
To call him a diehard Motley Crue fan is to underestimate.
A bit of an understatement.
It is an understatement, that's right. And so I was curious because you said Cory Roddick has got to be popping a rod over this, popping a Roddick, if you will. And I thought, well, maybe there's a part of him that takes umbrage with this thing. And I think Bill was right, wasn't he, Cory?
Oh, absolutely. You know how I am. I'm Motley Crue. It's always it's me. It's not them. But I think that I do the work of thousands of fans with every one day I live as a Motley Crue fan. So I'm going to take full credit for this reunion.
Everybody knows,
as you should.
Yeah, everybody knows full well that Cory Roddick is one of the world's foremost Motley Crue fans. But I don't know that I've ever figured the backstory out. How did they come to you? How did you find Motley Crue?
Dude, it was awesome, and it's crazy that I can tell you the exact date. It was Christmas Day of 1986. My older cousin, right, he got that VHS Motley Crue Uncensored for Christmas.
Yeah.
And right as I walked in the door, the door at my aunt's house, I see Vince Neil in a jacuzzi on top of a car and some chick flashing boobs, my first boobs and my first, metal. And he was the coolest freaking guy in the world to me when I was that age. So anything my cousin was doing, I was all about. And then it became really, really cool to just watch Motley Crue implode along the years, then put it back together and put out these kick-ass songs. And they were the first in the door, and hopefully they're going to be the last to go out. But they've done it solid for nearly 40 years. So I'm stoked about this, man.
So how old were you in 1986? You discovered them at the age of what?
I was 8.
8, okay, because I was 15 in 1986, and I do remember that Shout at the Devil was one of the first cassettes that I ever bought, Shout at the Devil, because Too Fast for Love, I thought better songs, but Shout at the Devil is when they went full in on trying to freak parents out, and all the kind of fake devil stuff and all that, and the backwards masking and all that kind of stuff. So I was hooked early on, too, but then they got a little too neon for me, but I know that you're, till the day you die, this is the stuff that you'll love. But you were going to go see them on the supposed final last date, and you didn't get there.
I did not get there, and it was one of those things where I was, at the time, it looked like the adult, responsible, family and future-oriented thing to do. That I made it all the way to the airport, and before my ex-wife and I got married, she was not a fan of this band in the first place, so being engaged to me was not an easy thing. But
I would think that would be boy. That's how you know when you're in love, when you're on both sides, where you're kind of like, this person's not into Motley Crue, nor are they into my love of Motley Crue, but we'll make it work. And the other person's saying the same thing, and they go, well, we'll try to make it work. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't.
I'm going to go ahead and go with that version and not disclose much more. Actually
right.
But we were supposed to go together, and everything was just falling into place, right? Because the show sold out immediately, and then I went on Airbnb. I'm like, okay, we got the tickets. We better do this on the cheap. And
now remind me, the final show was going to be a hometown show at the Forum. It was New Year's Eve 2015. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, okay.
And I had my tickets. They were nosebleeds, but I was cool with it. But the draw of this whole thing, man, was that I was staying not only in the Sunset Strip, but through Airbnb, there was the original, apartment available that Motley Crue, like, it's in that famous first scene of The Dirt.
Yeah.
So I was, like, ready to worship at the friggin' altar of rock and roll, and the ex-missus wasn't having
Were you going to
it.
have your wife carry you over the threshold?
Well, I don't know. There may have been talk of her calling me Nikki at some point.
There
or,
you go.
Hiring somebody for the Strip to kick the door in while we were doing it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
He goes deep. He goes deep.
That's right.
yeah, man. But I made it all the way to the airport by myself, and I thought to myself, all right, my future is to the left, and disaster is right. I have $67 to my name, but every time my flights were getting delayed, it seemed like a worse and worse idea, so I just decided to err on the side of love. So we've learned once again that love is all great and everything, but shout to the freaking devil, man. Let's get this crew on.
The devil will never let you down.
You should have let us know. We would have done like a Venmo, GoFundMe, and made that happen for you.
Oh, yeah.
That is something that I would have thrown you a couple $100 to make that happen, because I know how much it means to you.
It was a principle thing, because it wouldn't be the first time that I'd gone to LA with like $3 and a baggie of cookies. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I tried to make it work for a week. This is what I used to live for, was get myself in jams in Hollywood. So it seemed like I was making the right decision. So their contract that they signed, where when they get to do clean themselves out if they decide to tour as Motley Crue, I'm grateful for another chance to see them again, because I don't know, man, how many legacy acts do we have left?
Yeah, not many. And obviously, it would be ridiculous for me to even ask if you think they should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I think they got straight up screwed again, but I don't know. This is just coming months after, from the last I heard, Nikki Sixx told the Rock Hall to do all kinds of wonderful things to his genitalia, so that might also harm them.
Well, they always say that until they get nominated, and then everybody's Kiss did the same thing, and but. Yeah, I don't understand whether you're a Motley Crue fan or not, I don't understand the resistance to them in the Rock Hall. They seem to embody the best and worst of rock and roll.
I think they are the most rock and roll rock band of any band to walk the earth.
What about Mumford & Sons?
What about even more than Winger? What are you, crazy?
More than
Whitney
Houston?
If you want to go ahead, if you go ahead and factor the ballerina moves into it, and the fact that I don't know, that does give them a run for their money. I don't know. I just feel like Motley Crue's always kind of walk the walk and talk the talk. So this whole coming back out of nowhere thing seemed it seemed a little bit fishy to me, and I was kind of like, man, they said they were going to go away. But hey, man, I'm just glad they're coming back. I mean, have you guys seen them live?
Yeah.
Yes, I saw them many, many years ago live. Like I saw them in, I saw Motley Crue open for Ozzy.
I saw them.
Oh, wow. So the Shout Tour. Kick ass.
Yeah, I was a kid. I was like 12 or 13 or something.
I saw their performance at the then Q, and now Romo Fijo.
The Romo Fijo.
Romo Fijo. I saw that farewell tour, and yeah, they played their songs.
Well, listen, you immediately sprang to mind, Cory, and congratulations on Motley Crue coming back.
Thanks much. Can I interest any of you guys in one of these shoestring crazy trips to LA to try and, I don't know, have Mick Mars spit on me or something?
Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe make that a show thing.
Yeah.
I don't really care about going for Motley Crue, but I would go to help you out. That would be fun.
Come one, come all. It's Hollywood.
We'll do Motley Cox. Yeah, we'll go out there. All right, thanks,
Coxley
Cory.
Crue.
There you go. Thanks,
All
pal.
right, later, guys.
All right, there you go. There's Cory Roddick, who is the world's biggest Motley Crue fan, happiest that they're coming back. And, of course, Cory, he walks the walk, too. No stranger to the rock and roll lifestyle. He's played in numerous bands. He sang for us on a number of occasions.
Got some ice cream from Cold Stone, Oreo overload, in a waffle cone.
When Axl was really fat, Cory, of course, played in our parody band Guns and Donuts, and he was very, very successful for us in a short period of time.
That's impressive.
I'm stuck in this door. Hey, ow, hey, yeah. Fast slump stuck in the door.
Yeah, stuck in the effing door. Yeah, because Axl was fat.
Clever.
I've got a hankering for a tasty treat. Nacho chalupa with extra meat. Barbecue chicken wings. JoJo's in that Spanish
Tea Kettle Taco Bell.
Tea Kettle Taco Bell, baby. That's right.
Great.
Okay, so I went back through the Fartgate audio.
Yeah.
Before the break, if you've been seeing Fartgate pop up on social media today.
I was checking out some other clips of it as well. Because I didn't see it. So now that I've seen the visual with it, that does add to it. And I'm not as sure that it's not a fart now.
Well, let me play it for you again, because I went through, I used some of my professional audio equipment, Bill, in my side studio to really drill in and figure this audio out, right? For the uninitiated, Eric Swalwell, who's a representative of Congress, who is one of the faces on cable news in this whole impeachment inquiry. But he ran for president, too, for a hot minute. That ended as quickly as it began. That's kind of a footnote for him. But he was doing hardball, and he's checking in with Chris Matthews. And the initial, and there's an audible fart. What they say is a fart. And some people initially attribute it to Chris Matthews. To which the hardball Twitter account had to tweet, it wasn't Chris Matthews. He says that he was sliding a mug across his desk, and that's what made the noise.
The mug thing seems wrong.
Shouldn't there be footage of that?
Right, wouldn't there'd be footage it's a glass table, it's a glass mug. Why would it make that sound?
Maybe he had a rubber bottom.
But if you hear the audio that I was able to isolate, Bill, it becomes very clear what's going on here.
Okay.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
That's it sounds less Swalwell and more Stairwell, if you ask me.
Yeah, that sounds, that's definitely a fart.
That is absolutely a fart.
That's a good fart. That's a good, strong, girthy fart.
Right? I mean, he's out there in the marble-lined halls of Congress, so the audio, it just bounces all over the place.
It's a nice place to fart. Good.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
Yeah.
I love that fart.
He really took his time there, too.
This actually reminds me of a fart incident that took place in my life. It was actually like one of the not highlights of my life, but it's
one of the lowlights of your life?
No, I remember
fart incident.
No, honestly.
Yeah.
Well, my family and I took a vacation to Put in Bay, and we went inside that monument that is on the island, and they make you walk up all these damn steps. And my brother, he's not thinking about anything. He's very selfish, and he's gross like that. So he farted, and it traveled all the way up to where my mom was walking down. So she
followed her.
She was like, "Oh my God, someone farted!" And my brother was like, "That was me." She was like, "Was that you?" She slapped him. She's like, "I heard it, and I smell it, and everyone else is gonna smell it too." Yeah. So she was so embarrassed, and it was just one of those times. I'm like, "Wow."
If you'd like to share my fart, the stairwell fart. Not the
Swalwell fart?
Yeah, not his. It's on my Instagram story, and I hashtagged it Fartgate, so hopefully I'll get pulled into this whole thing.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
Swalwell's so cute, though. Why are they doing that to him?
Is he?
He's a good looking.
I mean, he's a good-looking dude, right?
Considering senators and Congress people, he's on the better end.
I mean, even Ted Cruz was trolling him. Because when Cruz was running for president, Swalwell was going at him. So revenge is a dish best served stinky, I guess.
I didn't know. Oh, Ted Cruz.
Yeah. Ted Cruz tweeted out that scene from Dirty Rotten Scoundrels where Steve Martin craps his pants in the table and he says leaked footage of Swalwell on MSNBC last night. That's
I
funny.
used the bathroom.
What would Ted Cruz is?
Thank you.
Thank you.
People enjoy him enough to be president. No one.
I'll tell you what, that beard's helping him. He never did a bigger service to himself than when he grew that beard. He's still a putz, but I'm just saying, politics optically, he looks a lot better with that beard.
Can't stand him.
I'm kind of low riding today, and I'm starting to feel like Steve Martin in Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Oh, yeah?
When the table was chin high on him. Yeah, I've been low riding in my chair for the past couple of days just because it's just more comfortable. But now I'm starting to feel like I'm at the kids' table, so whatever.
Poundcake doesn't like being at the kids' table.
Nope, I got my butt whooped for it.
Who could blame you?
Corn everywhere. Ain't nobody
Corn
eating.
everywhere.
Ain't nobody eating. If I can't sit
You
at
got
the
your butt whooped at the kids' table.
Yeah, because I was like, I am half preteen. And I smashed my plate down. And Mom's just like, that's it. Like, she had her big lip sticking out. Like,
You said I'm half preteen?
yeah.
What did that mean?
Meaning I'm old enough to sit at the adults' table.
Half preteen.
I was like 11. I was like 11 and a half.
Wow.
I'm like, 12 is preteen. 13 is you're an actual teenager. So I was like, I'm old enough to be mature and be in everybody's conversations because that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to be nosy and see who in the family was.
You want to be included.
Nah, I just wanted to be nosy so I can know who I can make fun of. That was my MO.
A lot of people are pointing out to me on the text that the Eric Swalwell fart sounds very similar to Bill's stairwell fart. That can't be right, can it?
That seems interesting.
The evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
I assure you it's merely coincidental.
Just a coincidence.
So damn immature. Our country is burning, and this is what you guys make fun of.
Alan, I pooped in the Eisenhower building next door to the White House. I know a fart in a marble room when I hear one. Yeah, that's someone who has
Farting around the world.
first cheek knowledge.
I feel like there's certain places you shouldn't fart.
No one's going to accuse them of hearsay and conjecture. I was there, Your Honor. Yeah.
Like, you can't, like, fart in the 9/11 memorial. Like, that's just rude, right?
I mean, you
Well,
can.
when you're not there taking selfies. I'd rather have somebody fart than take selfies.
Right.
Why would you rather have somebody fart?
And also,
Then
I mean,
take
this
a
is
selfie?
America.
You can do whatever you
can
want.
Fart where you want to
There's
fart.
certain places you shouldn't fart.
I didn't
What do you
say
always say,
should
Bill?
or shouldn't fart your farts.
And you never know when they're going to happen. Alan, I was at a customer site, and the customer had to go into another area of the building for a moment. So I let a really nasty one, but they only came in 30 seconds later, right back into the area. That,
Ooh, or, walked right into the cloud.
So they know it was you.
I mean, when I had last Thursday night when the Browns played, and I had my cocks out downtown, so I get into Ivy, and I go back by the MMS table. A lot of people there. It was nuts to butts at the Ivy that night. So I go back there. There's a bunch of our salespeople back there because they were going to the game.
Yeah.
So I walk over. I'm like, hey, what's going on? I'm saying my hellos. We got the promo team there. And somebody was busting ass, and I don't know who it was, but it was like I walked into a cloud of hot fart. And my initial reaction was to just goof on it and be like, oh, my God.
But adults don't make fun of that stuff, so you felt odd.
Well,
saying it.
I'm barely an adult, but I mean, like you were half preteen, I'm half adult. But I also didn't want to make anybody feel bad because you can tell on someone's face immediately if you call
Who
out
it
a
is.
if
Well,
you call out a group because it was like a mixture of female and male salespeople.
Before Ivy reopened, when we did that bar crawl and we stopped in there,
St.
I think
Pat's.
St. Patrick's
Yeah.
Day, I was the one that did the fart there. I was the guy that made it, that was clearing tables out.
I remember that. I was cussing you out.
Yeah.
With my finger in
But
your
I
face.
owned it. I was owning it.
You did own it.
All
Yeah.
of my farts.
Enough for me to take a chunk out of you and tell you where you can go, because that was nasty.
I don't care what you
The
say.
evidence is uncontradicted that the president used taxpayer dollars to ask the Ukrainians to help him cheat an election.
Swalwell sounds proud of it too. Alan, Poundcake is proof that beating your kids does not work. There you go. I've always adhered to that.
I didn't fart in public. And
You think I'm a better person because I got spanked all the time?
Oh, you're talking about from the plate thing. No, it did help. It did help.
Yeah.
But the thing is, my mom didn't need to beat me. Like, she wanted to beat me.
She didn't need to.
I
it was
knew.
a want, not a need.
I knew.
It was
very well.
recreational for therapeutic.
In
She's
my-
like, I gotta get my steps in.
No, in my young mind, I knew what was right and what was wrong. I wanted it my way because I wanted to be mean. Like, she didn't have to beat me. I knew. Have a good conscience. I just wanted to sit at the table.
All right, Christmas Kwanzaa. It is an annual event helmed by Bill Squire. It's going to be at the Agora on the 28th of next month. Tickets are going quickly for it.
29th.
Oh, I'm sorry, 29th.
Yes.
That's a Sunday.
Yes.
I thought it was the 28th.
No.
Yeah, 29th. Hey, he's right. Mm-hmm. Oh, boy. I have tickets for you to win on the way back if you want to grab those. 35192 if you want to text AlanCoxShow.com for everything else.
The Alan Cox Show on 100.7 WMMS.
And everywhere you go on our free iHeartRadio app.